On the headlines with Interior Undersecretary Epimaco Densing. Undersecretary, thank you so much for joining us. You heard Mayor Marcy Teodoro of Marikina, and he said that it is the fault of the DILG. That's why they cannot meet the WHO contact tracing standards.
Hi, Rico. Good evening, and to all your televiewers. Well, first of all, that's a lame excuse on the part of Mayor Marcy. With all due respect, the 1:800 ratio has been there as a standard as early as third quarter of last year. And in fact, some of the local government units outside of Metro Manila even has a better ratio in terms of contact tracers. One we have experience in other LGUs, 1:400, 1:500. And they even have less budgets, to be able to hire contact tracers, but they were able to meet the standards.
Yeah, but Undersecretary, talking about the budgets, why did you not discuss it with the local government units if they have budgets or not, and if you don't have a budget for them to be hiring or rehiring contact tracers this year?
Rico, they have enough budgets. In fact, they were allowed under the law to realign some of their local budgets for COVID-19 responses. That includes hiring of contact tracers to meet the World Health Organization standards. The 50,000 tracers that we were able to hire in the last quarter of last year under Bayanihan 2 was just an augmentation so to ensure that we meet the standards, at least for most of the local government. So it's just an augmentation, but they're still required to do the tracers within the standards in terms of ratio, within the budget that they have. In fact, if we look at it in the national basis, we should be getting 130,000 contact tracers nationwide. And right now, based on our statistics, we have 250,000 nationwide. Apparently, it's just not proportionate that Metro Manila did not meet the standards, while the others in the provinces were able to meet the 1:800 ratio standardized by the World Health.
But Undersecretary Densing, the argument right now of Mayor Marcy and Mayor Toby Tiangco is that why did you not sit with them and tell them about the problems before revealing to the public that they had issues or problems not complying with the contact tracing standards of the World Health Organization?
No, they were already knowledgeable about that issue, that we were not meeting the 1,800. And this is one of the reasons why we asked for an augmented a fund from the Bayanihan for the contact tracers. But it was actually a budget, so that while they're building up their contact tracers with the budget that they have, there's already an augmented fund coming from the DILG or from Bayanihan too. But it was their responsibility to build up. But again, Rico, again, that's a problem that we're already looking at solutions. That's why I proposed to the IATF, and subject to our discussions, to put Metro Manila into quadrants. So that for those local government units who will be needing help, like for example, Pasay, the adjacent LGUs will now have to help them by, let's say, borrowing from them contact tracers, since they are in a surge right now. So I don't want to point fingers anymore. That's an existing problem. Rather than pointing fingers, let's look at solutions. If they cannot hire contact tracers as required to meet the standards or the ratio, let's at least talk about the sit down and how we can assist. This is the same thing we did to Pasay when they said they do not have enough contact tracers. What we did in the National Capital Region, DLG, is we borrowed contact tracers from the adjacent local government units to augment their contact tracing needs. Indeed,
Yusek Densing, budget is a problem not only of the national government but also the local government units. And if you're saying that we need solutions to the contact tracing, isn't having a contact tracing application like staysafe.ph an answer to be able to contact trace not only in Metro Manila but nationwide, now that we're having an increase in the number of COVID cases? Today, the highest since September 19, 2020. We're reaching 4,000 a day. Don't we now need a nationwide uniformed contact tracing app?
That's right. We've actually adopted the contact tracing program of Baguio City, care of Mayor Magalong. That's why we call him the contact tracing czar. And that program, which is recognized highly by the World Health Organization, says that this program should have both the technology and the human resource
Right.
side, because we need the contract tracers to do actual interviews, actual tracing,
Yes.
actual going down the ground, so that they will see the close contacts of these patients or COVID-19 patients, and see how long or the lineage of possible investigations and monitorings can be done to this close contract. So
Yeah.
the human side is still important in the whole process of contact tracing.
I know the human side is important, but it also has to be supplemented by this contact tracing application. And
Correct.
Mayor Magalong, Yusek Densing, has already said that he's frustrated that this unified nationwide contact tracing app in staysafe.ph has not yet been approved. And it's being held up in a bureaucracy. And it's already been 10 months. Close to a year since
Yeah, that's right.
since the lockdowns, Yusek Densing.
That's right, Rico. Most probably reporters can can interview later on after our IATF meeting, because that's one of the agenda today.
Yeah, because yesterday we spoke with David Almirol, who is the founder of the staysafe.ph application, and he's saying that it is a donation to the national government, and he's just waiting for the approval of various agencies, but it's being held up right now in the Department of Health, when it is also should be approved by the Department of Interior and Local Governments and the IATF and the government. So where is the bottleneck right now? Because we really need this, apart from the human aspect of contact tracing, a contact tracing application.
Again, that's pointing fingers again. We just discussed it last night at the
Yes.
technical working group of the IATF, and apparently that's not the case based on our discussion. So again, let's just finish our discussions at the IATF, and most probably after the meeting we'll see what will happen to this Stay Safe app, no? Which we really need for purposes of ensuring a good contact tracing program. This is important because that's part of the whole COVID-19 containment strategy, the PDITR, and that's the D, the detection. And it's very important that we have a very superior contact tracing program, which includes human resource and technology.
Undersecretary Densing, great to have you with us on Newsnight. Thank you so much for your insights.